Hey guys, this is Zach Egan. I wanted to go over today the HMS series by Americo. It is my go-to if I'm writing a term policy or a mortgage protection policy, and you guys will maybe see why by the end of this video. This is the agent guide for the HMS series. It'll be included in an email that you get, so you can review it and use it as a resource in the future. Here's the contact info for Americo. I generally call the phone number, but it has different ways that you can get in touch with people for different things that you might need. So the HMS 125 and 100 are level term insurance products. The difference between the two is the 25 comes with 25% accidental death. That's the one that I primarily use, and the reason being is if somebody dies suddenly of an accident, it was unplanned for, and that additional 25% death benefit would really come in handy. The good thing about this product is it has living benefits built into the policy. So yes, it pays out if the client dies, but also if they get a critical illness, a chronic illness, or a terminal illness, it'll also pay out an early acceleration. Another benefit is its simplified issue. So they're going to look into their medical history, their prescription history, as well as the answers on the application, and they'll make instant decision whether they'll approve the client or not, so the client can have coverage when you leave the home. It's non-medical, meaning they don't have to do blood and urine. Non-medical all the way to 400,000. Primarily we sell between 0 and 250,000, and the reason why I do that is because I don't want to have to be doing too many of these saliva tests, but I will if I have to. The lowest amount that they'll write a policy for is $25,000. They don't table rate their clients. It's on a accept or reject basis. Technically, a mortgage is not required to get the home mortgage series. As you can see, the difference between the 100 and 125, there's really only this accidental death difference. You can sell a 15, 20, 25, or 30 year. They also give you the option of doing a cash back option, which means at the end of the term period, the client gets all their money back if they haven't died or used one of the accelerations for one of the living benefits. And then there again, you see the accidental death. So if they go with the 125, they get 25% additional because of the accident. The minimum age on this policy is 20, so if you have people that are 19 or 18, they cannot qualify. And then based on the client's age, you have the amount, based on the client's age, the term length differs. So on a 60-year-old, they can get up to a 30-year. A 65-year-old can get up to 25, 70 can get up to 20, and 75 can get up to 15 years. You can add an additional benefit riders, so you can add a secondary to the policy. You can add a children's term rider, disability income rider, income term rider, involuntarily unemployment rider. That's like if they get fired or laid off or something like that, or a waiver of premium, like if they get disabled. It's pretty much just a standard non-nicotine user or a standard nicotine user with this. And then again, the issue limits are 25,000 on the minimum, 400,000 on the maximum, but at that 250, anything above 250, you have to do the mouth swab for. So those living benefits, this is really what I see the benefit of the HMS series is if your client is diagnosed with an unexpected illness, they obviously lose their income. They have medical expenses associated with that, and they cannot work. So these living benefits help them offset some of those costs. So the first one's a critical illness accelerated death benefit rider, and this is included in the policy for free. Well, included in the policy. If they get ALS, kidney failure, cancer, major organ failure, heart attack, or stroke, they can access up to 100% of the death benefit proceeds. It says right here. They can accelerate equal to 100% of the face amount of the policy. The chronic illness is okay. If the insured is unable to perform without substantial assistance from another person at least 2 activities of daily living, and those activities of daily living are like bathing yourself, feeding yourself, dressing yourself, things like that. So if they can't perform all their functions, so they're disabled, they can get the acceleration of this part of the policy. And again, that's up to 100% of the, up to 100% of the acceleration of the death benefit. Terminal illness is basically the doctor tells them that they are diagnosed with something that will result in their death within the next 12 months. So those are the 3 things I think are really beneficial to this policy to have included. It pays out if they die. It pays out if they get a critical illness like cancer, heart attack, or stroke. It pays out if they get a chronic illness like a disability that limits them from performing daily functions of life, or if they get a terminal illness like the doctor telling them they have 12 months to live or something like that. There's also some optional benefits that you can do. You can add an additional accidental death rider. You can add the additional insured, a disability income rider, a children's term, an income rider, waiver premium disability rider, and then that involuntary unemployment rider. So the underwriting on this HMS series, this is another reason why I go with it. It's pretty liberal. They do accept a lot of minor conditions. They'll accept high blood pressure, high cholesterol. They'll accept, in some cases, diabetes. They'll accept minor anxiety, minor depression, things like that. So the majority of people we meet with, if they're relatively healthy, can qualify for HMS. The other benefit is they give that instant underwriting decision. So if you fill out the e-app and they're approved, then they're approved. If they get declined, then we can dive a little bit more in detail to see what kind of medical problems might be limiting them from getting a policy like this. So just like I was explaining it earlier, 25 to 250 is non-medical. Same with 250 through 400, but you just have to collect that saliva. Here's the bill chart. So this is one thing to keep in mind. If the client falls outside of this bill chart, they cannot get mortgage protection from Americo. So this is a good one to keep on hand and take the height of the client and make sure that their weight falls into this weight. And then again, I don't know if it has all the things they accept and don't accept on here, but I can get you a list of things that they do and don't accept. But it's my standard procedure if the person's relatively healthy and are dealing with a minor condition, I write the application, and the application will tell you midway through if they're pharmaceuticals, or the medical bureau tells you that they have a condition that limits them from getting this type of policy. So that's my way of doing it. I don't know exactly everything that they accept and decline, and I don't know all the medications that my clients taken over the last 10 years. So if they're relatively healthy, this is the product I write. If they've had some medical problems and you run into something a little bit funky, I would just say consult with an agent that's been doing mortgage protection or selling term life insurance for a while, and they'll know what direction to go. But for the most part, Americo's HMS will be able to handle it. Another good thing about Americo is they've been doing insurance for over 100 years, and they are one of the largest privately held life insurance companies in America. They have $6.5 billion in assets, and that was back in 2018. They probably have a substantial amount more now. So this is the first overview on the Americo HMS series. And again, this will be available to you guys in an email that I send to you. So if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me, and we'll see you guys later.